Saturn is one of the most beautiful objects you can see from Earth. Its rings, its size, its presence. It almost looks calm. But that image is a lie. Saturn is a gas giant, which means it has no ground, no surface, no place to land. If you tried to descend into it, you wouldn't land. You would just fall. And keep falling, until the planet itself crushed you. It starts the moment you enter the atmosphere. Those soft pale bands you see from Earth? They're not decorative. They're storm systems. Massive, ancient, continuously churning storms that have existed for longer than human civilization. On Earth, a Category 5 hurricane moves at around 250 kilometers per hour. That's enough to collapse buildings and flatten coastlines. Saturn's winds exceed 1,800 kilometers per hour. 7 times stronger. And they never stop. They've been there for hundreds of years. They will keep going long after we're gone. But the winds are only the beginning. As you descend deeper, the atmosphere changes. The pressure increases, slowly at first, then rapidly, then catastrophically. At some point, the gas stops behaving like a gas. It starts behaving like a liquid. You are now inside an invisible ocean, made of compressed hydrogen and helium, pressing in from every direction, growing heavier with every kilometer you fall. Your spacecraft wouldn't survive. The metal would deform. Systems would fail. And eventually the hull would collapse inward, not from an explosion, not from heat, simply from the weight of everything above it. And you still haven't reached the strangest part. Because deep inside Saturn, under pressure that's almost incomprehensible, hydrogen transforms into something that doesn't exist anywhere on Earth. Scientists call it metallic hydrogen, a substance that flows like a liquid, but conducts electricity like a metal. It exists in a layer possibly tens of thousands of kilometers thick. And it's this layer, constantly moving, constantly churning, that generates Saturn's enormous magnetic field, a field that stretches millions of kilometers into space. And below even that, there may be a small rocky core, buried under everything, compressed beyond recognition. This is what Saturn actually is, not a ringed ball floating quietly in space, but a layered system of increasingly extreme environments, one inside the other, each more hostile than the last. Saturn has 146 confirmed moons, more than any other planet in the solar system, and 2 of them have changed the way we think about life in the universe. The first is Titan. Titan has a thick atmosphere, weather cycles, and a complex chemistry that in some ways mirrors the early Earth. But it's not water that flows there, it's methane. Liquid methane falls as rain, fills lakes, and evaporates back into the sky, a complete weather cycle, just at negative 180 degrees Celsius. Scientists have wondered for decades if something could live there. Not life as we know it, life by completely different rules, in completely different chemistry. We don't know the answer, but the question alone makes Titan one of the most important worlds we've ever found. The second moon is Enceladus. Small, icy, and from the outside, unremarkable. But beneath its frozen surface, there is a liquid water ocean, kept warm by Saturn's gravitational pull. And that ocean is erupting into space. Hundreds of geysers shoot water, salts, and organic compounds from the south pole of Enceladus into the void. When the Cassini spacecraft flew through those plumes, it detected everything you would need, in principle, for life. A small moon, orbiting a distant planet, shooting the ingredients for life into space. The most detailed look we ever got at Saturn came from Cassini. It arrived in 2004 and spent 13 years in orbit, studying the planet, its rings, its moons, its storms. It dropped a probe into Titan's atmosphere. It flew through Enceladus's plumes. It showed us more about Saturn than any instrument in history. And then, in 2017, it ran out of fuel. Mission controllers made a choice. Rather than risk contaminating Saturn's moons, they sent Cassini directly into the planet, It transmitted data all the way down, until the pressure and heat destroyed it. The spacecraft that showed us Saturn became part of Saturn. And that's what this planet does. It takes things in. It doesn't let go. Saturn remains one of the most hostile places in the solar system. A world with no ground, no surface, no way out. But also one of the most extraordinary, because from a safe distance, 1.4 billion kilometers away, it keeps giving us answers. And the answers keep reminding us of the same thing. Space is full of worlds, and most of them are nothing like home.